Now, to quote William Arthurward, adversity causes some men to break, others to break records, okay? Now, this maxim certainly epitomizes the journey of our guest today on the Y Leaderboard series. Now, he's etched his name into the hearts of Ghanaians and the sporting world with his fist and charisma. Ranked the 31st greatest pound-for-pound boxer of all time, the first African inductee in the International Boxing Hall of Fame, and widely considered the greatest African boxer of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to our guest for today, our inspiration for today, our special individual for today, the one and only Professor Azumah Zoom Nelson. Welcome to IFM, sir. It's good to have you around.
Thank you.
I haven't seen you in a while. I think the first time I saw you was at the conference center. It was one of the sports awards, and it was my first time, my first opportunity actually. I saw you from afar. I'm like, this man is great. Such an opportunity, and it's great to have you here on Ghana's #1 urban music platform. Now, it's an honor to have you with us. Mentioned that earlier. Yesterday, okay, we started the conversation with us. Yesterday marked exactly 24 years since you knocked out JC James Leja. Okay, so I'd like to say congrats once again on winning that bout. But take us back, to 24 years ago. How was preparation for that day?
I think, both of us have prepared very well for the fight, but as experience that I have, I know that we're going to win, and we do our normal thing, warming up, and singing, this called Jama.
The Jama.
Jama songs,
morale.
Give you the morale and enter it.
And then you went inside.
You went and do what you're supposed to do.
Wow. I remember when I first, heard about the fight between you and, Leja, through my mind, I'm like, yo, this wasn't easy because I watched it. It was a knockout. Thing for you. You just kicked him. Yes, exactly.
The referee stopped the fight.
He stopped it. Yeah. Did you see beyond the 6th round, or even saw yourself kicking him out earlier before that?
Yes, I can take him out earlier if I want to. But all that I have to do is just set him up in the earlier rounds, and then like 2-3 rounds I take him out.
Just take him out. Congrats on that. It still feels like it happened yesterday. Now, COVID-19 has stalled a lot of things in our daily lives. It's affected sports, economics, health, and all. We've seen other sports disciplines like soccer, employing virtual soccer with no spectators, and even the entertainment world, is now doing more virtual concerts. As a passionate boxing figure, are there plans to employ virtual boxing for Ghana in anytime soon? I mean,
yeah, we're waiting for the president to give us a go ahead, but we have some plans that we wanted to do, but we have to go and tell the people that if they agree that okay, that would be better, like promoting the fight. I will let my son continue from there.
Yeah, so he's basically talking about, we have plans of, just like you mentioned, staging a few bouts, with just the boxers and their trainers, social distancing. But these ones have been discussed, we're in conversation with the president of the Ghana Boxing Authority. We're talking to the coaches, the matchmakers. And once we firm those conversations, I'm sure we'll come back on the show and put them out.
Please, my people don't know the legend we have in the building on the side.
No. The focus
we should keep the name out, right?
My father today. Yeah, let's keep that.
Oh my God, I'm going to give you guys clues, man. Mr. Basketball in the building. Now, let's come back to this. Now, at what point, during your childhood, did you get, do you remember the first time you boxed as a kid? The very first time you...
Yes. I was in my mother's family house, and there's a man with a small boy passing, and I saw a small boxing shoes that the man is holding. And when I look the size of the boxing shoe, I can see that this boy is a boxer.
It's a boxer. Was his?
Yes. So I went to the man and asked him, "Is this boy a boxer?" The man said yes. And I look at the man, I look at the boy because I'm a little bigger than the boy.
Okay.
I look at the boy, but I can beat him.
Just that?
Yes, and the man said no. I said, okay, then so let's fight. And then the man said, no, I should come to the gym.
Wow.
So he directed me to the gym. So I called my friends. We went to the gym. When I went there, the man was there, and I called him. I said, I'm here. He looked at me and said, who are you? I said, oh, I'm the one who said I'll beat your boy. I said, oh, yeah, okay. And then he put the gloves on us, and we start fighting.
That was your first time you put your hands in gloves for boxing?
Yes.
I mean, this was no case of you trying to defend yourself whatsoever. The boy was peacefully going his way, and then you just challenged him.
Yes.
And then they allowed you.
Yes.
Did you beat him?
No, I don't want to talk about that. The boy beat me so bad.
He beat you mercilessly?
Yes, and because I went with my friends. My friends to think, oh man, I'm going to do some show. I went there, the boy beat me so bad, and when on the way coming home, nobody was talking. I mean, I felt so bad, and I've disgraced my friends, and I don't know what my friends are thinking, but we went home, and the following day, I said no. When I went home, I was trying to find out the mistake I made before this guy can beat me like that, because I can punch him and he's punching me, because I'm not thinking about I'm not thinking that the boy is a boxer and boxing is about defense, So I wake up in the morning, I say no, I'll go again. During the afternoon, I went again.
To the same boy?
To the same boy.
Wow.
And the boy beat me again, but this time. This time he didn't beat me like yesterday. So I said, okay, now I'm improving. So the third time when we fought, I said, no, this one is draw. And then the fourth time, I tell this, I won the fight.
You kept fighting the boy until you started beating him.
Yes, I won't stop going until I start beating him.
Wow. I can just pick persistence and, the zeal from what you said. I mean, while you were doing all these, was your prime focus to become a boxer or to just bring the boy down? Like, let me just show him I can beat him. He's a boxer. I'm not a boxer. I will beat him.
Before that, my father loved boxing so much, and we went to a boxing match. And I saw two small boys fighting, but after the fight, I saw some water on the small boys, the other one face, and I told my daddy that this boy has cheated the other one. So I want to fight him. So he should take me to the ring. I want to fight the other one. My dad said, okay. But before I realized we were home. So since then, I'm always telling my father, take me to some place. I want to box. I want to fight. Until I meet the boy, and I realized that this shoe is for this boy. And then
he had interest in boxing and was constantly, taking you around, and then you were finding situations for yourself to prove that you can actually do it.
Yes.
Now let's move away from your childhood and boxing. At what point did you get the inclination of wanting to fight professionally? Like throughout all these years of you trying and bringing people down, breaking people's records in the area, becoming the boy that will discipline the boxers. At what point did you decide to take it on as a job? Like, I really want to do this.
The first time I went to I went to fight the boy. I just keep going, because I want to, whatever I do, I want to be the champion, and so since then I start going to training now, So one man called Atuke Klote. He was a boxer and he's a good boxer. He was in Kumasi training there. They transferred him to Kumasi, so he came to Accra. And then when he came to Accra, my coach took me to him. Because my coach is not too experienced.
Okay.
Yes. So he took me to him, and then he trained me very well, and then gradually we start fighting. So gradually, and I became a national champion. You know, it was difficult for me to even get a chance to fight for the national fight because the captain saying that I'm too young, I'm too small, you know, I can get hurt, and I was so sad. He don't want me to fight, so I went and I've been telling people that listen, this guy don't want me to fight, and they said okay. And so then they came and talked to him. So listen. The boy is not about a small boy. There's a referee in the ring. So if the boy cannot fight, the referee will talk. Fight, yeah. You know. So I allowed the boy to fight, and then they allowed me, and we start fighting. You know, and I beat everybody.
How old were you back then? You mentioned they said you were quite young for that. At what age was this?
I was about 15, 16.
15, 16, you wanted to fight for the nation. Wow. I mean, let's dwell a little bit more on that. You mentioned that it was difficult to fight for the national team. I mean, now, looking at now and then back then, what do you think has really changed? You know, in people wanting to fight for their national team, in you, at least you moving from your area, being known in the boxing world, and eventually becoming the national boxing figure. I mean, fighting for the nation. How different, you know, has the situations been?
Well, there's not too much difference. You know, boxing is boxing. We have amateur and we have professional. You know, so if you want to take the boxing as your profession, I mean, you have to keep going. You know, be the champ. You know, I wanted to become the first person to become the Olympic gold medalist in Ghana, but we're preparing for the fight for the Olympic Games, and they boycott the game. You know, I think that that time was the apartheid time. They boycott the game, so we couldn't go to the Olympic Games, and I cannot wait for another 4 years ago, 4 years again to go to Olympic Games again, because boxing is about age. You know, it's like football. You cannot, even football, you can I mean, reduce your age. You can doctor it small, but yeah, you can reduce your age. By boxing, if you try to reduce your age, you try to kill yourself. You're digging your own grave if you reduce your age in boxing. Wow. Now, you mentioned that your father loved to watch boxing. I mean, he was a big fan of boxing. He didn't allow you to train in the beginning, but you were fortunate he introduced you to the sports. I mean, what difference did that make in your boxing ambition? Because he didn't want you to get in there, right? No, that night you cannot. But there's a promotions, and then we came to watch the fight, and then he cannot take me to go, because I think he can take me there. You know, for you to just get in. Yeah, get in. As a father, you can do anything. You know. So take me there, let me fight. But because my father wanted to be a boxer anyway, and my grandfather didn't allow him to be. So he hired sometimes and trained. So he loved the boxing already, you know. So when I took to boxing, he was supporting me and everything, and put showing some plans for me, put some names on it: Terrible Terror, Courageous, Azumah, you know. So it makes me giving you morale. Yeah, give him the morale and support everything, you know. So I did what I can do. You were undefeated in 13 fights before challenging Salvador Sanchez for his WBC featherweight belt. How were you able to put that loss behind you and bounce back to win the title later? Yeah, he's a lucky guy, you know, but this word, when you fall, you don't have to stay there. You have to wake up and continue, you know. And I know I wasn't ready for that fight, you know, and I fought that fight, and I gave him so much tough time, you know. And since then, I'm ready to fight for the title, but they've been dodging me. They know that no, this boy is too dangerous, you know. So we don't want to. So give him the chance. So they've been dodging me until like I became the number one, and then it was mandatory defense. You cannot hide and dodge me again. If you dodge, they take the title from you, and they put down with me and somebody to fight. So you definitely have to fight. So I fought. What's the name? Wilfredo Gomez. I fought Wilfredo Gomez in Puerto Rico. And I knocked him out in the 11th round, and then I became the featherweight champion of the world, and I told them that I've got the title now. Anyone who said he's a man should come. And take it.
Wow. Now, being prepared all times, you mentioned along the line that you were not prepared for that fight, but being prepared all times is a phrase we're told, to always keep for success, okay? Your bout with Sanchez is a typical example of what being, ever ready means. This is because, you were only given 2 weeks to prepare, right? And, you faced the world champion back then, but you gladly took the opportunity and made history. I mean, what goes into preparing, for a fight, and what do you mean when you say be prepared always in boxing?
Every day you have to train. It's like you're going to office. Every day you have to come to the office. Every day you have to come to the office and then do what you're supposed to do. The same thing. Every day you have to go to the gym, and train. And then when there is a fight, then you just training more. And if you train 1 hour, when the fight is coming, you have to train 1.5 hours or 2 hours, every day, and then prepare the body and then condition the body, condition the mind, spiritually and physically, so that you'll be ready to
move on. Great. Now, 39 career fights, 28 knockouts, but the whole of Ghana still refer to every brawl as, Azumah and Gomez. Okay. Yeah. Apart from it being your first world title win, what do you think made the particular fight so legendary, and what attitude should young people develop in keeping, to the winning side? I mean, by becoming winners, what attitude should they, pick from this particular fight in order to become winners?
To become winners, it's not about what will I say? It's about discipline. You have to be disciplined. You have to be humble. You have to. If you are disciplined, you listen to your coach. Whatever your coach will say, you have to do it. When you're tired, you force yourself, because when you go to the ring and fight, when you start fighting, you get tired. So you have to push yourself. You have to push yourself. Everything that the coach will say, you have to do it. And then I think, and you have to know the boxing if you want to keep the title for long. You have to know the act, because boxing is an act. You don't go in there and take the punches. You take the punches that bad, and some few years your head starts shaking. And then you get punch drum and all kind of this sicknesses. That's one of the things that we have to do when we're talking about keeping shape. Make the body firm. So when they hit you, it bounces back.
It bounces back.
Yeah.
Let's talk about number of hours you used to train in a day back then, on an average.
About 3-4 hours a day. Wake up in the morning, you just go to jogging. So from jogging straight to the gym, you start hitting the heavy bag. And then you finish and then go and rest for a while, come back again, and then do the shadow boxing and sparring, and chopping the trees and swimming, and
it takes a lot.
Yeah, it takes a lot.
Wow.
It takes a lot. You need to love what you're doing before you can go through.
Still on the Gomez fight, apparently before the fight, some ladies visited you in your hotel, claiming they were sent by him to you. Do you think this was a plot to make you weak before the fight by Gomez?
Oh, definitely, it was a plot, and because if you're a man and you see these girls, you also say these guys like angels, so beautiful that you can't say no. But my bodyguard came. I was inside resting. My bodyguard came to me and said that, do I have? Am I expecting
visitors? Yeah,
some visitors? And I said no. So he went and told them that no, I'm not expecting them. And they say no, I'm expecting them, So I heard the noise out with them, and then I came out, and I said, what? They said, I said, no. So they left. But it's a little struggle.
At that point, you were popular. I mean, you had it all. You were on top of your game. People say every game or every business has its advantages. I mean, why did you turn them down? Was it a part of the discipline you speak about?
Yes, you cannot. They should, if they want to do something like that, they should wait after the fight.
Oh my God, I understand it now. So I mean, before the game, as a pro, there are some things you should do without, and that was a part.
Yeah.
So you did not decline because you didn't want to, but because you were not going to invest that in your fights.
No. They know they just coming to take the
energy.
And then take the energy away, and then left me with nothing, with Gomez.
But did they come back after you beat Gomez?
That's why I'm saying that they should wait. But after the fight, I couldn't find them nowhere.
Oh my God, I love the conversation already, guys. We have Professor Azumah Nelson in the building. Why Leaderboard series 0202222073 gets you in by WhatsApp, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. The hashtag is Why Leaderboard series. And shouts going out to all our viewers on our Facebook. We're live on Y1079 FM Ghana. We're live on our Instagram as well, Y1079 FM Ghana. Let's move back to the Prof. At 23, you were world champion. How did you manage your finances back then? I mean, a lot of money was coming in. Were you handling it yourself? Was somebody in charge of your finances?
No, not really. I was managing it myself.
Wow. But how are you combining that? Because you had to keep one eye on the money and then another eye on the bout.
No, I'm not too much about money. Money. I understand a lot of things in this world. Helping people is something that give me joy. So I always want to have money and give to share. So money is not something too much.
It wasn't too heavy for you.
Yeah.
But was the money really coming in back then? Give us a fair idea. Was it heavy?
Oh, I mean, if you can. Even right now, if you can fight right now and take even $1 million, it's money.
It's heavy.
So it's heavy. So.
You mentioned one bit of, your daily activities. I mean, helping people and that. Apart from your children, you're also involved in the lives with a lot of young prospective boxers. How do you balance family life and all the other engagements? I mean, handling the kids, people who want to get into boxing, consultancy, family. How do you do it?
Well, I don't know how I did it, but I did it.
There's no formula to it, but you did it.
Yeah. Yes, wow. I did it.
But did the lives of your children, come in the way of your boxing at any point? Let's say you're supposed to go train, but baby wants something else. I mean, were there situations like that?
No, but there's the mother is the mother there, and some people who are helping. Helpers are there. So, and I train in the house. So if my child want to be with me, he can stay. He's in the gym. He can sit in the gym looking at his father training. So it's not that difficult.
It's not that difficult for you. One of your children has taken up the sports. I mean, he's a boxer too. What encouragement would you give to the youth to take up boxing as a career?
Well, he knows that. I mean, boxing will make him famous. Boxing will make him rich. Boxing will make him let people know him. You know, and boxing will make him relax.
To the people out there as well, I mean, there are young. I have friends who live in Teshi and Bukum who are focused on boxing. I mean, what advice would you give them? Is this something they should do? Is this something that you would advise, you know, a huge chunk of the youth to get into?
You know, sometimes these boys, a lot of them, they want to become boxers. But sometimes when they go to training, when they come back, what to eat is difficult. You know, so they couldn't continue. You know, they go today, they can't go tomorrow. They go tomorrow, they can't go the next day. You know, and boxing is like a huge job. You know, big business that you don't go today and then don't go tomorrow.
It needs dedication.
You need dedication. So if you can get somebody to help you, you know, just to get some food to eat and continue training, I mean, it is the best, and we can have a lot of world champions in this country. But right now, because of that, right now we are planning after the coronavirus. We are planning, you know, to go to the go for a tour, picking the boys,
the talented ones, yeah,
yes, and bring them to Accra, you know, camp them, take them to school, you know, and after school they have to come and train, you know, and then go and sleep, and then tomorrow continue, you know, so we can get a lot of champions.
Through your days of, you know, nurturing young boxers, have you ever encountered a situation where, let's say, you see talent, pure talent in a child, you want to take up the child and then promote him or push him into the boxing world, and the parent says no?
No. I think what I remember is somebody brought his son to me from Kumasi, and I was training him. And the boy became Commonwealth champion. Okay. And I'm preparing him for the world title, you know. And as soon as he became Commonwealth champion, people start passing him back, you know, and start talking to him. Listen, you are a world champion. What are you doing here? Azumah don't want you to be a world champion because he was a world champion. He don't want anybody to become a world champion. If you want me to help you, I'll help you. I'll take you to America. And you know, the boy haven't been to America before, you know, and so he been hearing America. So I think when you get to America, you finish
That's
your
all.
life, you know. And then they came and took him away. You know, the boy started fighting in America. He did very well, but he couldn't become champion. He fought for the world title, I think twice or something, but he couldn't become world champion because there's some things you have to learn, you know. And nobody can show him that, you know, unless me.
Put him in there.
You know, so he couldn't become world champion. And later on, he started sparring with this world champion. What's the name? One of the greatest boxers in America. Okay. You know, he became sparring partner with him. You know, and then I think now he retired. Yeah.
Do you have a fair idea? Not a fair idea. Can you tell us the number of boxers you've trained so far? Do you have a fair idea of the figure? Maybe a round figure, maybe. So far.
You see, about could be 20 or 25 or something. Yes, but some of them are in America, you know, but they couldn't
pursue it.
They just, they just working and making a living, and so far as they are doing well, it makes me happy.
Great. We're going to go off boxing a little bit. We're going to touch it once again. But before we get into that, from Zuzum Distilleries and other companies, you're now into farming. Okay, farming is part of your life. Well, it's actually been a part of your life since, but now you focus on it more than you used to. What went into your decision to venture into it, and what type of farming are you into right now?
I'm into, whatever, anything that will bring success and this happiness to the nation. I try to do my best. When I became world champion, I know people were so happy. When now I enter into farming, I was planting cocoa.
Okay.
Cocoa farming and coconut farming. So I believe that cocoa is going to help. Cocoa is going to help the nation, and coconut too is going to help the nation. So I try to
get into that.
Manage to do things that can help the country.
I've spoken to a few people who are into farming as well, and many of them, well, including Kennedy Japan. I spoke to John DeMello as well. They all mentioned that farming is not supposed to be a part-time job. I mean, you shouldn't do it on the side. Do you share the same opinion?
Yes, whatever you are doing, you have to focus on it and do it well. But I have some people there who's taking care of all these things. So we have a farm manager, and I have a lot. But people don't know that I'm a contractor.
You're a contractor as well.
So my man is looking at my face.
Tell us a little bit about that as well. I mean, you do that on the side.
Yeah,
you have people that work for you.
I do that on the side.
That on the side. But back to the farming, is it a challenging thing to venture into here in Ghana? Like to be a farmer?
You need to have something you can start with.
Capital?
Yes, something you can start with, and when you start, I mean, I think it's not bad. Farming is not bad business, so far as you know what you are doing.
Now, okay, so there's a bit of our show I want you to listen to, okay? We had an interview about 3 weeks ago, and the person that came on, I'm trying not to mention his name, but the person mentioned something with regards to his past and attributed one bit of his success to you and your manager back then. Let's take a brief moment and listen to this voice bit. After that, we'll continue the conversation.
Azumah came to fight. Azumah came to fight. There was a shop, a liquor store on 114 and Legnos Avenue. It's called Fred Wines and Liquor. It was a Ghanaian who set up, opened that shop. So most of the taxi drivers, when we are in Harlem and we are tired, we just go and park our car there. I went in there and I saw Azumah Nelson.
Wow. That was your first time meeting him?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the boss, Mr. Asa. So talking, I said, oh, say, I have money for my mother. They've thrown them out of their house. But I don't know how to get the money home. The man looked at me and my age, and I mentioned 24,000. He was surprised. So I gave him $16,000. In 1988, Ambassadorial Enclave, when you go under the bridge, you turn right, the first street, I'm telling you today, from that junction to the end, where you make a right to ANC Mo, I connected electricity and water.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah, that in 1988, that is where Azumah Nelson's manager bought the house for my parents.
So you actually gave them the money to sort them out?
Yes, to sort my parents. And he was so honest, very sincere. Because he liked me, my age and that amount that I mentioned. So when he bought the house, it was a boys' quarters. He got it for 24,000 because I told him I've saved 24,000.
Yeah.
So when he got the house, then I quickly sent him the 8,000. So my first house in Ghana here was April 17, 1988.
This is YFM.
Prof, do you remember this day?
Yes, I do remember. You know, but he's not the first person I do these things to.
Wow.
A lot of people, you know. Just as I told you before, if I'm happy to help people, you know. So I do anything that I can do to make somebody happy, to put some smile on your face. That is Azumah Nelson.
Let me get it straight. You didn't know this guy from anywhere. You and your manager were in America to box. He comes to you and tells you, I have money for you. I mean, was it the mere fact that he was, you know, from back home, or because you just loved doing good to people?
I don't look at faces, you know. Whatever I can do to make you happy, it doesn't matter where you're from, who are you, you know. If I can help you, why not?
Wow. You set up the Azumah Nelson Foundation some time back. Share with us what, you know, it aims to achieve and the purpose behind it. The Azumah Nelson Foundation.
Well, Azumah Nelson Foundation was there to help the needy ones, you know, help them, take them to school, feed them, everything that we can do, like I said, to make people stand on their feet. That is Azumah Nelson Foundation.
Now, that is the CSR, I mean, the corporate social responsibility bit of your business. I mean, aside the unofficial ones that you've done in the past for people, this is one of like the main things that you do to help people. Do you get support from anywhere? How do you raise funds to venture into all these, you know, corporate social responsibility, all these things that you're doing, these charitable things that you're doing?
Sometimes, because I remember we built a school at what do you call it?
What's the name of the place?
He's never gotten the pronunciation right. Enuma Papem.
Enuma Papem.
Yes, it's in the eastern region. Like after Suhum.
Enuma Papem.
Papem, yes. It's in the eastern region. So
Okay.
after Suhum, you make your left.
Okay.
And then, so you're from Accra, and you get to Suhum.
You make your left.
You make your left, and about 25 minutes drive from that side.
I want Prof to take the word again. What's the name of the place again, Prof? It's Enuma Papem. Pampem. Yes. We got it right? Wow. So what are some of the things that you're doing there? You know, for the society, the community there. Sorry.
You know, there was a school there, and the school almost collapsed on the children, you know. So I think somebody told us. Then we went and see, and immediately we start building. We bought a land at the side, and then we start building the school, and we'll have some people from America, you know,
Also
and they came and helped build the school for these people, and it makes me so happy that I can.
You started that. You can also help in your own way. What role has, you know, friends played in your success, and what advice would you give to the youth about friendship and friends? Now for some.
You know, friends are friends. You know, so all you have to do is you have to be careful. You know, and you have to be careful picking your friends. You know, don't let your friends choose you. You have to choose your friend.
Choose your friends.
You know, because if your friend choose you, he will do things that he will let you do things that you don't want to do it, but you do it because he chooses you. You know, and you don't have to be in too much. Like I have a friend, but if I don't see him, I cannot do anything. You know, just focus, know what you want to do. You know, and find out. Like if you're going to school, and you have to make a friend. You make a friend who is intelligent. You know, who can you know, if you don't see anything, he can show you. You know, friend that can help you, friend that can give you good advice, not a friend that will tell you, Charlie, let's go and steal, let's go and do bad things, let's go and do this. You know. So to these children, too, you know, they are really tough.
Wow. Still on friendship, though. I mean, this is just a part of the things I wanted to ask you earlier. You've seen it all. You've been places. I mean, who are some of the people you've met that maybe growing up you never expected to see? Let's do some names. Who and who have you? I mean, the one person that maybe you met and told yourself, wow, I never knew I was going to meet this person at this point.
To be
official frequency for the.
Like you say, I have a lot of friends, you know, but I'm not a friendship person.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how to make a friend. I'm quiet. You know, I'm always quiet.
Now for some.
I'm quiet. You know, just sit down, sit back, and
observe,
and for some time. You know, and sit down. Okay, let me say hi.
Okay.
You know, so a lot of people. I mean, Ghana, especially Ghana, I can say 99% loves me. You know, only few people can say something bad about me. You know, but like you are saying, I have people that I can call their names. You know, somebody I can say, this is my son here. You know, when I call anytime, anything that I need to do. You know, when I tell them, Charlie, we have to do this. You know, we have to do this. It's a genuine. You know, it's difficult to get a genuine person to come by these days. You know, so but I have a couple of them. You know, but.
You're not really a friendship person, so you just, you know,
yes.
Your life doesn't dwell around them.
No.
Great. Now, still on friendship, and friendship in let's talk about your relationship with ex-President Rawlings. You know, apparently he used to borrow Gary and beans. Tell us. Let's go into that.
You know, that's why I don't want to go there too much because I think you are expecting me to call his name.
I'm interested in that. I mean, you were that close to him. Share some of the fun moments you had with him, particularly about the Gary and beans.
You know, when we are in the camping, you know, we sometimes to get food to eat, we finish training, we have to eat, and there's no food. He was the manager, you know, who's taking care of us in camp. You know, he comes to the camp and then make sure that everything is okay. He can come there, and then the place is dirty. He take the broom and then he himself sweeping the place and clean the place. You know, and he don't want anybody to when you want to help him. Say no. Listen, you people are finished resting. You are tired. You know, and sometimes we don't have food to eat, and I stand there. You know, stand there quiet, and then say, okay, I'm coming. You know, he brings some beans and tatali and this Gary and this. You know, we eat. We don't know where he brought it from, but we have to eat. You know, gradually. You know, and my life was I like the military discipline, you know. So myself, I like discipline. So you know, so I wanted to be a military person, you know. And he told me I shouldn't be a military person because what he's seeing in me, you know, is more than military person. So I said okay, you know, and today I became a world champion. Today I became famous everywhere that I go, you know. So that time, you know, if I knew I can say that he's a prophet, you know, maybe a prophet in my life, you know. So I love him so much, and he knows that I love him so much, and I always, anywhere I go, you know, I like to say thank you. And when I'm praying, anytime I pray, I remember him and his family in my prayers, you know, that God should bless him and give him whatever he wants to make him happy till his time comes and God calls him.
All right. Now, did you at any point consider giving up in your boxing career? Did you ever experience anything that made you feel like, okay, I have to just quit this business and then, you know, get back to my life?
Yes. I mean, it got to a place. It got to a time that I can see that my reflexes are going down. You know, if your reflexes start going down, you have to start thinking, you know, about retirement. You know, so I fought one guy, I think 5 times or something.
That was Jesse James.
Yes, Jesse James. You know, and I was so lucky that he was the easiest boxer that I fought in my life. You know, so if I fought him 5 times, and if I can see that the reflexes is gone, so I have to retire. So I just retired.
Now, you used to talk about taking your own judge into the ring, which happens to be your knockout fist. I mean, for any young person out there trying to break through in life, what kind of judge should they take into their endeavors?
No, but I have my own judges, like
your fist.
Because there's a judge in the ring who judges the fight, you know, and who knows? You can't tell. Maybe this judge, you know, there's some things he cannot see it well, you know, and some things too he can. If you don't take care, you know, when you hit 1 or 2, he can give it to the other one that your opponent who punched 2 times. You know, before they finish their fight, they say you lose. You know, so when you take your own judge, which is my hands, you know, I say no, I have to go and knock this guy out, so that even if you have a baby and you ask the baby who's the loser, I will tell you the one who's in down. The one in down is, you know.
My God. I think I have a perfect answer. It's fine. Prof, I want to take 2 questions from our viewers, of course, our listeners as well. Guys, if you have a question for Professor Azumah Zumzum Nelson, kindly send it via WhatsApp 02022222073. You can also get at us on our Twitter at Y1079FM with the hashtag #WiLeaderboardSeries. The first one in here says, as a legendary boxer, what do you make of DK Poison's settlement with the country, and how no government seems to be ready to pay him his money? It's coming in from Kobe Che.
Yeah, this money is 40,000. 75,000 or something. I don't think it's too much money for the government to help to give him that money. You know, but I don't know. It's very sad. You know, it's very sad. I mean, giving yourself to the country, die for the country, and it got to a place like this. And then, I mean, even if DK Pozo don't have anything with the government, I mean, the government have to make sure every month.
They put him on there.
Yeah, every month they give him something small. It will encourage even the young ones that are coming. That, I mean, they should do something for the nation. So, but sometimes I don't want to talk too much about these things, because people sometimes, maybe these big people, some of them they don't understand where I'm coming from, and they take it different way, and then, but I'm doing my own plans to see what I can do for DK Poison.
Okay. All right. Second question I have here is from Twitter. Says, are boxers of today living up to your expectation? I think I have another one in here from Manasseh Kwafo on Facebook. Says, Prof, in your own opinion, what do you think Ghana boxing is not doing right now and should be looked at? So 2 questions in one.
There's time for everything. I mean, sometimes, this world, you go down and you come up, so it's like this time boxing is down, but we're back again. So you shouldn't worry. You should pray for boxing if it's a boxing fan.
You talk about God always in your interviews. I mean, what role did God play in your career? We understand some fights were revealed to you even before the day. Tell us a little bit about that, the role of God in your career.
If I want to talk about God in my career, I wish I'm talking to somebody who knows what I'm coming to talk about, because it will be like how possible, because when I was young, when God was telling me that, He told me that He will make me a world champion, and I've been telling my friends that, listen, God said He will make me a world champion, and when I became world champion, one of my friends said that he came and asked me, Champ, do you remember when we were young? You said God said He will make you a world champion, and I said, yeah, I'm happy you remember. So from my infancy, I like to say thanks to my father for putting me, for let me know God, because it's my father who let me knew. I knew. It's my father who directed
introduced you to God.
Introduced me to God.
Prof, we have someone on the line for you. The person wants to talk to you for a few minutes. Let me just connect him. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, sir. Welcome to IFM.
Thank you.
My name is Rev. Professor Azumah Nelson is on the line. He's actually with us in the studio. Kindly, talk to him.
Pound for pound. Pound for run.
Hey, boss.
Boss, you are the boss. Pound for pound. Yes. You've had a fantastic career. You've been a source of inspiration to, in fact, even all of us, because you never give up. And I know good people never give up. So may you continue to inspire the youth, to inspire. In fact, as I said, there is no age limit here, to continue to inspire all of us. You've been a wonderful tower of strength. You've been a fantastic and a loyal friend. And keep moving and keep pounding. pound for run, brother.
Pound for run.
You know, we love you. We love you. We love you too much. We love you too much.
God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir, for taking time off your busy schedule to talk to us. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Sam Jonah on the line. I heard you guys go way back.
Way back, you know, way back, you know. That's some of the people, you know. Sometimes I don't want to mention them. You know, somebody will say, "Oh, you're being too low."
Wow.
But, you know, I'm always there for, you know.
Someone wants to know, GH Mr. Biza says, who is your best boxer in Ghana now? I think he's trying to say your favorite boxer in Ghana now.
Jatabi.
Jatabi. Okay. You see yourself in him?
Yeah, he's a strong boy, and I'm determined. You know, he has determined that he will be a world champion. You know, and when he enter into the ring, I mean, you know, so if we can get the right, if we can pass the right places, you know, do the right things, he can be a champion.
Prof, when you're not talking about boxing, when you're not handling your farming business, your home, what else do you do for fun? What on the side do you do for fun?
So what do I do?
He's home.
He's home, right? He just likes to take a chill pill at home.
He likes Indian songs too.
Indian songs?
I can sing.
You can sing a lot of Indian songs?
Very well, very well. And I can act too.
You can act.
So when you...
Prof, you know what? I love Indian songs myself. I don't know. Can you give us an acapella on that?
It will be a tough challenge.
Tough challenge. I mean, Indian, that's Hindu music, right? Yeah,
Hindu music.
Give us an acapella. Any of them.
The Indian music, if it comes for me to do something on it, then I have to sign something.
Wow, so we should have. I think we should have spoken. We should have spoken. Wow. No, I appreciate that already. I mean, let's come back to Ghana. Ghana music. What kind of Ghana music do you like?
I like almost all
the songs.
All the songs, you know.
Okay. Ganj, do you have anything nice for Prof we can play? Something that he might like?
The gospel, local gospel.
Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna get. There's one particular song I heard he really loves.
Which one?
We'll play it.
Oh, okay.
We'll play it that he listens. But once again, I'd like to say thank you to Sir Sam Jonah for taking time off his busy schedule to talk to us. And I'm going to give the chance to our listeners to call in as well. I think today we have a lot of time on our shoulder. 0202222073. I'm going to accept just 2 callers, to call in and have a chit chat with Prof. Azumah Zoom Nelson. Don't forget, we're live on our Facebook, Y1079 FM. All right, let's get into this song, one of Prof's favorites. All right, and then after that, we'll talk about it. I think there's an issue, between two of Moving to this next one.
Official frequency for the young and young at heart.
Papa, are you gonna sing this one with us? Will you try? All right. I personally love this song as well. I think it's one of the biggest songs from last year. Pese Nyako and Obinyaneme.
Yes.
I mean, if you were to get back into boxing now, would you consider this song as your entry song? Because I remember back then you used to enter with gospel music.
Yes. Assembly back.
Some matter they come. Wow. We'll try and bring that one too on in a bit. But before we get into that, let's talk about your relationship with Mike Tyson and what you think about, he getting back into the ring. How long have you known him?
Just some few years ago. I knew Mike Tyson a long time, a very long time. I knew Mike Tyson, and he's my friend, and sometimes when we finish training and we come in, he put his hand on my shoulder and I take the hand and I throw it away. That, listen, your hand is too heavy, don't put it on my shoulder. And he will tell me that, listen, if I'm in your weight, I will never fight you. I say, we are good friends. I like him because he's a nice guy, but when he enters into the ring, you see him different. But apart from that, I mean, it's a
nice guy.
Very nice guy.
I remember somewhere, a few years ago, the American government wanted to jail Don King, so you were asked to come testify, but
But under the table.
Yeah. Why didn't you say anything?
No, I said something.
Yeah.
Yes, I said something because they flew me from here. They flew me from here to America
to go and testify.
And I went. And Don King have spoke to me that I'm the last person remain. They want to hear from me, and then they put him in jail. And I said, don't worry. We Africans sometimes they think we are foolish. I said, okay, don't worry. So when we went to the meeting, and I was sitting down, and they asked me how much did Don King give you under the table, and I look at their faces, and I look under the table. And I look at their faces and I say, what did you say?
Wow.
So I pretend like I don't know what they are talking about, and that's okay. Then they look at me and they say, okay, Master, you go. I say, okay, thank you.
And so they did not put him in jail?
They didn't put him in jail.
After that, did he call you, Don King?
No, I was once in a while when we talk, but
wow, you did a brother's job. Anyways, I remember I asked about your advice to the Ghanaian youth. I mean, people who are not just into boxing, people who are into farming, people who are into entertainment and the rest. What kind of winning attitude should they enter or approach their craft with in order to become winners?
Yeah, you don't have. They shouldn't do things that somebody is doing, so they go and do some. They should do something that they love. And when you love something, you are doing it. Sometimes you won't even feel when you're tired. You won't feel even tired. You keep going. So if they can do what they want to do, right now, like to get job. A lot of our children have finished school, and they couldn't get job to do. So whatever you give them to do, they'll take it because they don't have anything to do. So they'll go there and they'll take the job and go and sit down and start sleeping. Do different things. Because they are there, they are not happy. So they should do things that they love. But I don't blame them because they have to get the choice to choose. But the choice is not there. So all I'm telling them that they should give themselves to God. They should give themselves to God. God will make a way for them. It's only God who makes way for you where there's no way. But I don't know how this our people believe God. But God was my everything. When they're praying the song and then they said that if it's not you, God, where I will be by this time. And I know that if it's not God by this time, I don't know. By this time, I'm not in this world already. But because of God, I'm here and I'm kicking and I'm doing very well. And God is still coming to make me bigger than the world champion. So, and it is wonderful to know the God that I'm talking about. You can't talk to that God that I'm talking about. You can't talk about him too much. If I start talking about God, I'll crash right down.
Wow.
My voice starts changing.
Prof, let's be very blunt on this. Is there juju in boxing?
Oh yes.
Wow.
Juju there's juju in everything. Everything there's juju. Because I've got a lot of experience in it. Like I was going to fight somebody and I have a problem with my stomach. My stomach was paining me. If I touch my stomach, I can't even. The pain is too much. It was too much for me, and I was crying like a baby. And at that time, I was getting ready to enter to the ring, and I was praying. I told my people in the dressing room that everyone should go out. And they went out, and I prayed, and then finished. And they came, and I said, "Okay, we are ready to go." And we start fighting. I was thinking, I was very, very careful about my stomach because I don't want the guy to hit my stomach. So I was very careful, and then. I can't remember the time I like first round or second round, third round. I don't know what time the pain left me. I forgot that they didn't have a pain. And then the sixth round, I saw that back of my head was hot. I felt something there. I said, wow. And then I saw something dropping, and I said, Kai, it's a blood.
Wow.
So I used my hand and clean, and the referee saw it. The referee is coming to stop the fight, and I clean it, and I pushed the referee that no, this is nothing. And then we continue the fight, and after the fight, I won on points. I won on points, and then I give the guy a rematch. Wow. And I told the guy that when the rematch time came, we went to America. I told in the press conference, I told him I will knock you out in the 5th round. Because I asked God, how will I fight this guy this time? And then he called me and he said, God said, God, it's like I was watching, I just finished training, relaxing, and God told me I should go and take a video and put in the CD in the video. So I wake up and took the first one on it, and I just took it and I put it inside.
Put it in there.
You know, I just sit down watching, and I saw the guy threw some punch, and God told me that I should go and train on this punch, that I will knock him out in the 5th round. I said, okay, thank you, God. And then I went and slept. And then I slept, and when I wake up, I went to the gym, start training. And then that's all that I'm doing, the training that the Holy Spirit told me, that's all. And then when we went to the fight, I told them that I told them, 5th round, I'll knock you out. And then they start laughing. So, how come? You know, and the 5th round, I knock him out.
Wow.
And, you know, so there's a lot of things God, you know, me and God is like, we are very good friends, you know. So that's why you know, if you know God so much, you don't need to think about money, and you like giving because you understand, because there's no way like sitting down here right now. I don't have anything. If I don't have anything to eat, I don't have money in my pocket, I'm not afraid. You know, if I have one cedi in me and you need it, I give it to you. You know, because I know that you don't know where to get it. But if I turn myself and I raise my hand or I kneel down right now, something will happen.
Something will happen.
Yeah.
Wow. Which of your fights would you describe as your greatest by far? Greatest in terms of preparation, the delivery, winning, the excitement?
A couple of them. Somebody like Sabache Martinez is a Mexican. The guy can hit when he throw the punch, and I block the punch with my hand. You know, then you see that my hand has gone.
Wow.
Sorry. Then I can feel the pain in my hand, and then I start thinking, hey, so if this punch hit my jaw, you know, then this guy will knock me out dead. You know, so I fought twice. The first fight was I won on points, and then the second fight I knocked him out in the 12 rounds. He's very, very tough guy, you know, and everybody knows. All the Mexicans thought this guy can beat me, you know, but I beat him twice, you know, and the one both. What's the name? That Australian guy, Jeff Fenech. You know, Jeff Fenech is a tough guy, you know. And one with Vilazana, you see the guy very slim. Yeah. You punching him, he's coming. You know, you are hitting him, he's coming. It doesn't matter how hard you hit him. The guy is coming. You don't know where the punch is going. You know. So there's a couple. This guy too, Juan Laporte. You know, he's very hard guy, very hard guy. You know, he can knock him out, but he made a mistake. You know, he punched. I wasn't too much. I wasn't ready for that fight too much, but he can hit. You know, he can hit. He can even knock him out in that fight. But he made a mistake. He punched me and I went down. He knocked me down, and when he hit me, you know, my leg was gone. You know, and he have to take time and come again. But he's rushing, and he hold me, and then he threw me, so I fell. You know, so when I fell, that's the time I got to rest. Yeah. You know, and wake up. You know, if not that, man, he would have knocked me out.
Wow. Final two questions. I mean, final ones, and then we move on. So you knocked out Pat Cowdell in the first round in London, and before that, throughout the promo, all the meetings you had, the press meetings that you had, you told fans, you specifically told them to come early.
Very early.
Very early. Why were you so sure about the victory in that match? I mean, telling them to come very early and then you knock him out in the first round. Did you know something anybody didn't know?
Yes, I know I'll knock him out I don't know that I know I'll knock him out, but not in the first round, because the guy is really tall. He's a little taller. So I know he's going to move away. He's going to move away from me, because he knows that I can hit, I can punch, But as soon as the bell go on, it just came straight to me. So when it came straight to me, and I said, no. I'm saying my mind. I said, no. This guy, you are making a mistake. You can't fight me like that, So in between talking to myself that no, this guy is making mistake, and he's just throwing jab, and I bob and I threw the uppercut, boom, we finished the fight.
That was first round.
Because I told the people the people to come early, and then some people are paying the money, some people have paid, they enter, some people are paying and then they are coming, and then they said they couldn't even sit down. And then they said they finished the fight. They wanted to beat us there. It was very tough because security to guard us and that we can run away. I fought two of them. I fought one guy. What's the name? I knocked him out in the 12 rounds. They just managing him. They want him to finish the 12 rounds, and then they say, well, he won. So no, I'm in your home, and then how can I finish the 12 rounds? Well, how can he finish the 12 rounds with me and win the fight? And I know already that if the fight went to the distance, I cannot win. And when the fight was going, in the 8th round, 9th, the 10th round, 11th round, I was telling the referee to stop the fight because the guy is tired. And the referee that's why I told you that I like to go with my own referee.
Your own judge.
The guy was tired, and by his forcing, just want to finish. And then the last minute, I've been telling the referee, stop the fight. The guy is tired, stop the fight. And then I hit the guy with one punch, boom, and he fell. And then he was down for a while, and then
he rested.
He couldn't wake up again.
Wow! After the Cowdell fight, you made a statement that till today, well, people describe you with that. After the fight, you said, "I'm too bad, baby."
If I didn't say that, if I didn't say what I said, and you watch the fight, what would you say?
You're too bad, baby. Wow, man, this has been an experience, man. Bro, thank you so much. Thank you so much for talking to us. I've learned so much.
Thank you very
much. You've lived the life. You've been through it all. You've worked your way through the top. I mean, you fought your way to the top, and we appreciate you for that. I believe a lot of people who listen today are super inspired. We've picked a lot from all that you said. We appreciate you. Ghana celebrates you. All of us. I mean, we are all super grateful to you for being who you are. Your life is an inspiration to all of us.
I have to thank Ghanaians and Africans for what they have done for me with their support and the love they have for me. I mean, I don't know where somebody can get that love and the support from.
We love you. We love you so much. And so that is one of his favorite songs in the back as well. Back then, before he enters the bout, that's the song that plays. Send me back. My Bishop Michael Osei-Bonsu. It's so rest in perfect peace. 23 minutes right after 11. I'd like to say thank you to the Y Leaderboard Series team. Of course, to Team Professor Azumah, Zoom Nelson. Of course, to the man himself, to Yausechi, to Ken, to my man George with the streaming, man. Ganj, all of us. If you want to listen back to the interview, kindly log on to yfmghana.com right now. On YouTube, Y1079 FM, all right? It's right there. You can go check it out. On our Facebook, go and play it back. Go listen. ladies and gentlemen, this is why. 107.9 FM.
For the young and